To a comedian, a good friend, an okay husband, I guess, and the hardest working banker you'd ever meet. At least that's what he always leads you to believe. But a community supporter all of his Eldon career. I'm honored to introduce to you the Distinguished Citizen of the Year, Rob Frazee.
Thank you. No, all these other people yielded their time, so we got, what?
Half hour.
Oh, good. Is this like the academies when the music starts? I start to wind it down. Well, what a surprise. I don't deserve this. What an honor, though. I'm embarrassed. I'm humbled. I don't know what I've done, but I want to know what took so long. I thought I was going to be like C.B. Whitney. I think C.B. was like 90 when he got it. And I remember standing up there and I looked down at him and said, C.B., I've still got a chance. And he said, yeah, Rob, you do. Thank you, Chamber, for your wisdom in this selection. But I am humbled and embarrassed because I really don't know what I did other than I quit work. I retired. I went underground. I guess getting out of the public eye was what you guys thought, hey, we got rid of him, let's give him an honor. My boss always said, and he's sitting right over there, Mr. Judas, he would call me in the mornings, first thing, and I always thought, well, he's checking up on me. I'd answer, and I'd say, yeah, boss, what's up? And he said, what are you doing in your office? I said, well, I'm working. I'm catching up on things. And he said, you do better work for us if you're out of the office. He said, you know, our bank feels a lot safer if you're just out. He said, go out. He said, Rob, you know what your best job is? He says, you shake hands well and you hug a lot of people. And he said, that's what we want you to do. We'll take care of the loans. Don't worry about them. So that's what I did. Great job. It is. When Tammy told me that I'd been given this wonderful award a week ago, about Tuesday, I think, I was sicker than a dog. I had the flu. And I mean, it was a killer flu. I called Dr. Griswold, he said, oh, toughen up, don't worry about it. But she said, she came in the room, and I do remember it was a Tuesday, and I lost all track of time. I was delirious. But she came in, she said, she shook me, and she said, I got good news and bad news. And I said, what's the bad news? It couldn't get any worse. And she said, your fever's 103. And that's the truth, it was, wasn't it, Tammy? 103, I was dying. And she said, but the good news is, you've been given the Citizen of the Year award. And I immediately threw up. Literally. I'm not kidding. And I don't diminish this award from doing that. It's just, I threw up. And I went back to sleep, and I think she had to tell me the next day that it's true, you got it. When I look back on the last, the honorees, which go back to 1984, and Rick Kane and I were on the ground floor of that. Colleen Wurstburn started this. She was the director of the chamber then, and she started this wonderful thing. And Rick and I were more or less in charge of the keeping of the secret. Back then you kept it a secret and didn't tell anyone. And we always kid ourselves. If any of you remember, this is a young crowd anymore. But if any of you remember Lafayette, Roland Martin, they kept secrets in a Funkin' Wagnall jar. That's what Rick and I did. I mean, we were the auditors. And anyway, I look back, 1984, the first honoree was Wally Vernon. And I know Trevor's here, but that's a leader. I look down through this list, R.C. Evans, a leader. John Kane, Sr. You know, Don Harrison, Citizens Bank. The class is unbelievable. R.C. and John Kane and Clark Holden were they're the ones responsible for getting Fasco Industries here. Literally, those three guys went to Rochester, New York, and met with Mr. Smith, who was the owner of Fasco, at their own expense, and this was in the early 70s, and they convinced Fasco to come to Eldon. But we all know what Fasco did for us. Those were leaders. Now, I come to a guy that last year won it, Cloyce Klein, sitting back there, and now all you do is see him in parades, and he's got the wave down. And when he won it last year, I fainted. I was sitting right up there. But here he is, every parade. I actually think I saw him in the Rose Bowl parade this year. I mean, this guy, I didn't know he was so well known. He's my neighbor. He lives across the street from me. But, you know, these are leaders. Lloyd Bell won it. I don't know if, they used to put it on the back of your program, but I guess it isn't this year. But, I mean, these guys are leaders. Tammy and I came here in 1975. Straight out of college, Northeast Missouri State University. Tammy's very familiar with it. We were 22 years old, and I had an interview with the circuit court down here in Miller County as a juvenile officer. I was a juvenile officer. Was I underground? I tell you, I was there. We came down here for an interview with Judge Parrish. Judge Parrish and Dean Whipple were both the circuit judges at that time, but Judge Parrish had the duties of the juvenile court that year. And we had an interview set up for Tuscumbia. We pulled into Tuscumbia, and I love Tuscumbia, I really do. But when you pull into there and you're thinking, here's where we're gonna work and live. And we look at each other and say, hey, it's a job. And I don't know if some of you remember, but in the 70s, in the mid-70s, it was tough times finding a job. And so we went upstairs at the courthouse, and at that time, Judge Parrish was in the middle of a murder trial. The place was packed. You couldn't find a parking spot. That was a big time in Miller County, Dave, as you know, especially murder trials. That brings out everyone.
We had picnics.
Yeah, it's big. So we get upstairs to the judge's chambers, and his secretary goes out and tells him that we're here. So he calls a recess. He comes in, and we introduce ourselves. And he sits down, and he throws this Missouri State statute book at me. And he says, here's your duties. He says, I got the pages marked. This is what you're going to do as a juvenile officer. And we talked for about 5 minutes, and I said, do I have the job? And he says, if you want it, it's yours. I mean, it wasn't a 10-minute, it wasn't more than 5 minutes probably. And he said, you have any questions? And I said, yeah, I got one. He said, what's that? And I said, does the victim that's in this jury trial for murder happen to be the past juvenile officer? And he said, why you asked that? And I said, because you're hiring me awful quick. I said, something's wrong here. But anyway, that 42 years ago, that's how that happened. That's the story. And we thought, we'll live here a couple of years and then we're moving on, you know. What a time. Then, after 5.5 years after working, there was 2 of us that were juvenile officers. Me and my partner. And my partner worked Camden and Laclede County, and I worked Miller, Morgan, and Montauk. So that circuit covered from Lebanon, Missouri to California, Missouri. And you all know the distance there. And then east to Iberia, a little past Iberia, and west over to almost Benton County. So it was a 7-day-a-week job, 24 hours a day, and hardly any rest, as Tammy will attest to. But it was an experience. But after about 5 years, and I felt like I'd been there 20 years, I thought, well, it's time to move on. You know, this is too much. And I didn't feel like I was getting anywhere. I was seeing the same families over and the same juveniles over and over. And I was trying to do my best to not do well, because job security, you got to have crime. So, but it was getting old. So, Ken Oswald and Susan were very good friends of ours. Ken was the prosecuting attorney back then. And another guy by the name of Harold Clotworthy, who had an insurance company here, they had heard that I was looking around, that Tammy and I were thinking about moving. And we didn't want to, but there just wasn't many jobs available. So Ken and Harold Clotworthy arranged for a meeting with me with R.C. Evans, who was the president of the Mercantile Bank of Eldon. I didn't know R.C. Evans. I'd heard of him, of course, over the years. Very distinguished man, but I banked at Citizens Bank at that time. Go Citizens. And I thought, boy. So this meeting was going to be held at the Eldon Golf Club on a men's night, and we were going to have a gin rummy. I play a lot of gin rummy, grew up playing gin rummy. And so, unbeknownst to me, we get to the club that night for men's night, and Ken and Harold Clotworthy and myself and R.C. Evans were going to play cards. We started about 7 o'clock that night, and we ended about 2 o'clock in the morning. And if you first met R.C. Evans, if any of you know him, pretty pompous guy, intimidating, I should say. He's intimidating. Very rich and powerful, and he ran the community, but the more I imbibed in beverages, that's I got down to his level, because he imbibed too. And we had quite a time that night. We called each other names, and I don't know what all we did, because I don't remember everything, but anyway, at the end of the night, I remember he had a limousine. He was the only guy in Eldon, Missouri that had a limousine, and the limousine came and picked him up. But as we were leaving, he said, "Look what I'm going home in." Well, I was smart enough to know that I was still a juvenile officer, and I had some pull with law enforcement. Well, I had a police car waiting for me. And I said, "Look what I'm going home in, and I'm not going to jail, I'm going home." And I had a police car drive up behind him. So the next day I'm at my office, because I was always taught you work hard, you play hard. So I'm at my office at about 7:30 in the morning, and at the courthouse, and 8 o'clock the phone rings, and my secretary comes in and says, "R.C. Evans on the phone." Well, besides the night before stuff, I start sweating really profusely, because I'm like, what have I done to insult the president of Mercantile Bank? So I said, "Yes, sir." I said, I immediately started apologizing. I said, "I'm sorry, I don't know what got over me. He did the game, I think I even ended up beating him in the partnership game." He said, "I want to see you at 1 o'clock in my office in Eldon." He said, "And I know Judge Parrish, and he won't mind you being out of the office." And I said, "Okay." So I show up at 1:45, and he brings me into his office, his secretary does, and I sit down. He said, "You sit right there," in a chair right in front of his desk. And I said, "What can I do for you, sir? I'll get down and kiss your ring or whatever, And he said, "We need a banker. Would you like to be a banker?" So this is how I get this job, 5-minute interview, 5 hours or 6 the night before, but he says, and I said, "I don't know anything about banking. I never took a business class." I said, "The only business class I got close to was economics, and I had to cheat off my wife," and this is a true story. I had to cheat off my wife to get a D, and she got an A. And I went to the professor and I said, "I should have an A on this." And he said, "No, I saw you cheating off your girlfriend there." He said, "You're lucky to get a D." He said, "I just don't want to have you in my class again. Get the hell out." And I told that story. I said, I don't know anything about business. And he said, "I'll teach you banking." And I said, "Well, if I'm starting out in business, what's my salary going to be?" And he said, "What are you making now?" And I told him. He said, "I'll give you $1,000 less." I said, "I don't know a lot about business, but that's not a very good deal." And he said, he said, in a couple of years, you'll not regret it. And he was right. I didn't regret it. In about 3 weeks, I was making loans, or attempting to, and bless his heart, him and Jerry Setzer, they tried to teach me how to bank for years, and I drove RC to retire, and I drove Jerry Setzer nuts. Jerry's nickname for me was Dipstick, and that's all he ever called me. When he called me on the phone, at my office, he said, "Dipstick, come up to my office, I need to see you." So that's where my banking career started, and it just goes on. I did stray from banking for a while. In 1992, I'm a hard-headed guy, as my wife will tell you, or used to be, and she's broke me down. But I got tired of the regulations and the corporation papers, and so I left banking for about a year and went to work for Smith Paper and Janitor. And that's probably the best move I made, because I learned the business system and the free enterprise, and get a check for what you do. Go out on the road and make sales. And then they also taught me some business, or some good information inside the store management. And it made it a lot easier when I transferred back to banking. I could sit on that side of the desk then and see these business people come into me. I could relate to them a lot better, because I knew what they were going through and how hard they were working. And what a great company Smith Paper is. Great for the community. They're good people. We became family. I still went there today to see them. I talk to them once a week, once every 2 weeks. Hidden treasure in Eldon. They do a super business, and they're great people. Why live in this community? Like I say, we had a chance to move when I was tired of the juvenile office. Didn't want to, thank goodness for Ken Oswald and Harold Clotworthy and Herb Harvey. They talked me into staying and getting a job here at the bank. This community, we come together and support families in times of crisis. We are a giving and generous community here. Look in the paper every week and see the benefits that go on. Every week, and there's not just one, but 2 or 3 that benefits are galore here, and for good causes. You can't ask for more for the community. We're resilient. I think we all remember 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, what we went through here in just Eldon, a town of 5,500 people. We lost 3 car dealerships, 3 new car dealerships. Thank goodness for Lloyd Belt that he came back and started a dealership, and another guy that has been tremendous for this community and what he's done over the last 30 years or whatever. Vasco Industries. We lost them. Now there's a town of 5,500 people, and they were a factory at one time 1,000 people. 1,000 people in a town of 5,500, and we lost them. That's hard to make up. The income, the paychecks, the families, and a lot of people in Fasco were families, some husband and wives, and sometimes children to work there. And when that plant closed down, that hurt families. I'm proud to say our bank immediately said, work with these people. If you have to give, and I know Citizens and the other local banks did too, if you got to do modifications, if you got to do extensions to help these people, help them. What a community. Other smaller businesses, they shut down. They couldn't continue. Thank goodness we got JCI here, and I apologize, I don't know the new name now, but Johnson Control. They were doing just opposite. They were getting better, and thank goodness they just kept building. employees and work, and their industry took hold, and they're still here, and what a benefit they are to this community. Walmart, OP's, Straightways, they all stayed, of course, and continued, but we hung on, and because of you out here, and lots of other people in this community, we made it. So that's resiliency. What a community. Eldon schools. What would we do without them? Matt Davis. What would we do without Matt? I got to give him credit. That guy works his tail off. I don't know when he sees his wife and family, but he's got the school system humming. And I've challenged him tonight. I talked to him briefly, and I don't know what his goal was, but I said, Matt, you're changing your goal to we're going to be the top 10 school in the next 5 years. When Tammy and I came to Eldon, Eldon was one of the top schools in the state. That's why people moved here. A lot of people with their families, when they came to Missouri, they checked the school districts out in the state capital, and Eldon was one of the top 5, probably, wasn't it, Matt? But Matt's getting there. He is doing the thing. Like I said, I think he sees himself coming and going. I don't know how he does it, but he's got pride, Mustang pride, and that's in the community. And it's not. And Matt, I don't want to make this Matt Davis night because this is my night. But he's smart. This guy, a lot smarter than I am. He should be up here, not me. But he's smart to get his people his age involved. I think he blackmails them. I don't know what he's got over him. These kids out here, they'll walk over hot coals for Matt Davis, you know. And he's got them involved, and then these families have their kids involved. I mean, you see these little kids everywhere wearing Mustang shirts, Mustang pride, but that's what it takes in the community, and Matt has done it. And his staff, and his board, and his administration, that's a community. And boy, are we coming. And my hat's off to Matt Davis. And you know, this guy had a lot on the line, because when they hired him, he's a local guy. He had a lot to lose. And when you take on and believe me, I was on the board for 15 years, and I'm proud to say that I was on the board when we brought Matt after college to teach ag, and then I was on the board when we promoted him to the Career Center director. I wasn't on the board when they made him superintendent. I probably would have voted against that. But this guy got a lot on the line and a lot to lose if he wasn't successful. And he's successful. And that's a community. I can't say anything more. He's done a heck of a job. And what are you saying now? Hey, the music hadn't started yet, buddy. Are you a native? I'm not either. I was told when I first was hired down here 42 years ago in the courthouse at Miller County, you'll never be a native here, Rob, no matter how, because you weren't born here. So, you know, you're not a native unless you're born in Miller County. Yeah. But thank you, Matt, and to all your staff and your board and the city. I'm going to wrap it up here, Bob. I was way ahead. You're not going to start humming. This is my night. 15 minutes of fame, everybody. I was ready. When I saw my family out here, I was ready to call the mortician and take my pulse, because I thought, do they know something I don't know? You know, all these family and friends here tonight. Maybe I don't have time to live, so be kind to me, though. Larry, thanks for what you do beneath Matt's, you know. As mayor of a town, you ain't getting paid enough, you know. But you're moving. You're moving the town, and it's in the right direction. And that's another good thing that a community has to have, is a good city and a school working together. They've got to work together, and that's what makes a community. Houses of worship, we've got everything. I think the only thing I haven't seen in Eldon is a Greek Orthodox church or Russian Orthodox. But we've got every other church, and community is school, city, and church. And we've got it covered. We're fortunate to have 2 great clinics here. The building project that Lake Regional is doing, tremendous for the town. I hope the Capital Region feels a competition going here, and maybe they'll build a 3-story building coming up. But that's great for us. You know, I don't care how much competition they have, but for Eldon, if that happens, wonderful. But now, at this point, we've got 2 great clinics here. New construction's going on, things are looking brighter. And I know every town has this. Every small town, every small community has this. But the difference is between us and those other towns is the people we have here. People like the recipients we've had tonight, people like Polly. Don't count me in on that, because I'm still wondering what the hell I'm doing up here. You know, I still don't know what I've done other than, like I say, leave the bank, you know. But I do, and I preached this the whole time I was in the bank. And I was so fortunate to get to Central Bank of Lake Ozarks in 2002 when they built the new building here. And I've been blessed to get that job. Quit fanning yourself. I haven't been up here 15 minutes. No, it hasn't. But I've encouraged, we are so geographically located here in Eldon, Missouri. We've got a 4-lane highway out here that goes to Jeff City in 25 minutes, the lake in 10 minutes, Columbia in 55 minutes, Kansas City and St. Louis. This is ideal for a bedroom community. People want out of the lake, not everyone, but it's congested down there. And I encourage the city to keep promoting Eldon, promote Eldon, promote Eldon, promote Eldon for what we have. And get them to move here. That can only be better for all of us. So that's another advantage we have here. Promote, promote, promote. We have it all right here in Eldon. I've been blessed to be here. My family's been blessed. In closing, Bob. I want to thank my family. Sitting over here. You got to thank your family. They put up with me for a long time. My brother and sister-in-law came down here. That's what made me worried that my health was getting worse. 200 miles they drove down here to hear this. What idiots. Well, I think I paid for them. Tammy, did we buy their dinner? He can afford it. Jason and Lindsay, Cannon and Britton and Barry, my grandchildren who are here. Thanks a lot. Didn't see their poppy. Tessa and Brian Patterson, my other daughter, and their granddaughters Ellie and Laney. I call these other girls my inherited daughters, and they are my daughters. Cole and Whitney Lodge and Abby Jo Thomas. And they're my inherited daughters. And the people that know me will understand that, or know Tammy and I. Linda Thomas, I call her my other wife. I inherited her too, but really she inherited me because when I had a little problem, a little illness going on, and Tammy was in Springfield working, Linda was my babysitter. And she checked on me almost daily. Yeah, what if I'd eaten all this and all that, if I'd taken my pills and blah, 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 blah. And so she was as needy and picky as a wife. But thank you very much. Tammy, I'm wrapping it up. You're last. You should be happy. You're last.
Coming closer to you.
43 years my wife has put up with me. Took me 7 years to learn that I was not the boss. I was hard-headed, like I say. But I I guess I'm going to get an award here in a minute. Yeah. Hope I'm not up here for nothing. I did get a free meal. I shared this with her. I don't mean to diminish me getting it, but she deserves it more than I do because she raised the kids. Again, she was like my boss, Mr. Judas. She said I was better out of the house than in the house. So she raised the kids, she did their homework, she bathed them, she clothed them, she fed them. When I'd come home, she'd say, what are you doing home? Why don't you get your buddies and go play golf or go somewhere? Don't worry about being here. I'll take care of it. In 1995, she and John Beard started Project Prom. They were the original starters 22 years ago. And it's gone this weekend, I think. 22 years, it's still going. But she and John Beard ramrodded that, started it, and it's a great organization. It's a great thing. It's good for the school. And great for the kids. She started Relay for Life, I believe. She was a chamber member for several years. I think she was involved with the Hard Drive. And she worked through FASCO, where she was with, who she was with. She worked at the Career Center, and I think they were partners in education for all those years, or whenever partners in education started. So she's done a hell of a lot. No kids in here, I don't think. Excuse me, though. She's done a hell of a lot more than I have. So I share this award with her. I thank you all again, the Chamber. I thank you all out here for what you do for the community. And it is a community. We're a great community. And we need to keep promoting Eldon because it's the best little town around here, or in the state as far as I'm concerned. And just keep promoting it. And thank you very much. I'm humbled. I'm humbled.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the halfway point of our ceremony. We're going to take a 10-minute intermission. That brings us to the halfway point of our ceremony.